we chose Scott because before we even truly decided to sell, Scott offered to come over to our house, walk through with us, and just give us his, first impression on what we should do. We knew that we lived in a neighborhood where our house would likely sell quickly, but we did want to make sure that we got as much as we could out of our initial investment. Scott came over, and within the first few minutes, I knew that that's who I wanted our real estate agent to be.
For us, just really eased fears. Anytime we were feeling anxious about the process or had any sort of questions, his proactivity was just on point, and he handled everything for us. We never had to worry about anything.
Yeah, we never had to follow up or make a phone call or send an email. And Scott kept in touch with us on a daily basis just to let us know where we were at in the process, what was coming up next, what kind of documents or information we needed to get together for listing our house, what the buyer's agents may be asking from us. So we were really just informed and prepared throughout the entire process, and it made everything really simple. There were very few stressful moments, and I'm trying to rack my brain to think of, anything that I would say was above a 5 on a stress level. I guess after when we were under contract, when we were going through the inspection process and the appraisal process, there were a few things that came up, so we had to negotiate back and forth with the buyer. But even then, I wouldn't call it.
Scott handled everything. I think my wife and I, we definitely we like to play hypothetical situations that are ran quite often for everything in life. So we would almost make up scenarios and like, Scott, what would happen if this happened? And he'd be like, that's not going to happen. But if it does, this is what we do. And it was great. It was great.
He was very patient with us through all of our what-if scenarios. Yeah. So before we even truly decided to sell, Scott offered to come over and walk through our home, give us some initial pointers on what we should do. That's, I would say, the easy repairs versus the repairs that may require a professional to come in. He was very honest, which I very much appreciated. He came over and said, okay, the first thing you need to do is paint all of your walls the same color. Then we asked him, more about structural repairs or, again, things that require a little bit more either time investment or, actual dollar investment. And he was very upfront, giving us his advice on what he thought was worth us putting money into and what was not. And it turns out he was pretty much spot on. So again, just very knowledgeable, honest, and trustworthy.
He went above and beyond, we thought. We had drones flying over our house. We had a couple of folks in our house taking photos, 3D imaging, whatever it's called. The time that it took was not outlandish. I think it was a few hours and during a couple of days, but it made the selling of the house, I think, that much more marketable.
Agreed, and in my opinion, photos and pictures, all that matters. That's the first impression to a buyer, And you see these houses that are listed on the market, and it looks like someone just went in and took their own photos, maybe with their, camera phone or whatever. Scott mentioned, hey, I'm gonna have, someone come over and take some pictures, and a few days later, we had a professional videographer and photographer show up, and the video was phenomenal. The pictures are incredible. We're actually gonna get one printed and framed, so that we always have a photo of our first house together. Mm-hmm. And I think it just really set the tone for the listing.
We also sent all those photos to our family members, and our family members responded, "Is that your house?
Your house looks great."
Multiple times.
so
we marketed it very well.
So we listed our house on Halloween, and our plan was, almost right out of the gate, we had multiple appointments for showings. So we knew that we needed to just be out of the house the entire next day. So we got a hotel room, we got our stuff, and just got out of the house and said, okay, we're not going to think about it for a few days. We'll check back in with Scott. We don't want to drive ourselves crazy. it turns out we had multiple offers within the first
6, 7 hours.
within the first few hours.
Yeah.
And Scott again made everything super easy. He texted us, let us know what was happening, kept us up to date. Gave us the pros and cons of each offer, and we were able to just make a decision again within the first few hours of it being listed on which offer we wanted to accept and go under contract.
And it was such a great process. I mean, we were able to sell the home for $15,000 more than what we initially wanted to, which made
us very happy.
Yes, very happy. Yeah.